Evening, Hi-Fi fans. So I'm home alone again tonight. My missus has gone to the pictures with one of her friends. So I've got the house to myself. I'm having a nice quiet night in, a few beers and checking out the little Hit Parade receiver. 'Cause I haven't done this one yet, and it has been repaired for a little while now, this Hit Parade receiver. I have used it, made sure it was all working properly, because I've been using it with the radio going. I have tested it out, it's working nice, this Hit Parade, but I haven't done it with CDs or anything like that through it, because it's DIN connectors on the back. I just couldn't find my phono to DIN lead, and I didn't want to go and buy one because I knew I had a decent one somewhere, but I found it the other day, so that is why tonight I am doing the Hit Parade. And that is why the door on my hi-fi cabinet will not stay shut, because the lead is only short, so it is just coming from the CD player straight out the front of my hi-fi cabinet into the back of the receiver. Whereas when you see me normally running receivers on the table, I can shut the door on my hi-fi cabinet because I've got a right long lead that goes out the back of the hi-fi cabinet down to the floor and then runs round to the table. But I can't do that with this DIN lead, it's only short. So tonight I've got the Hit Parade receiver connected up to these Bowers and Wilkins solid speakers and an arcam Alpha Plus CD player plugged into the back. And ignore them Sony speakers, they are not connected up. I'm just using them to lift the solids up a bit so they are more in line with my ears while I'm sitting back on the sofa. And I really have been looking forward to tonight, putting like a CD player into the back of the Hit Parade and seeing what it does actually sound like, because I had one of these when I was a kid. Me and James had one of these for years, and we really did think it was a good receiver. We really liked it. So all I'm going to do now, right, I'll show you this Hit Parade is working because it doesn't light up. All the bulbs are gone in this and I haven't been able to get none. It's got really funny little bulbs in it. But look, if I put it onto radio and tune it in, look, you can see the tuner's going up and down where it's finding the radio stations. So I just wanted to show you that a Hit Parade is plugged in and working, because it does look like I've just plonked a receiver down and not even plugged it in. So let's put it back on auxiliary, and yeah, the CD's running back through it. So yeah, as I was saying, me and James had one of these for years, and we rated it a little bit. We thought it was a really good sounding receiver. So I thought we was going to be very disappointed with this one. I thought it would like show us that when we was kids, we knew nothing, because the Hit Parade is not a good sounding receiver. But let me tell you what, this thing has got a good sound to it, much better than you'd think by looking at it. It really has. And the other day I found out why this Hit Parade sounds so good, because I've never known who made this or known anything about it. But the other day I'm on eBay looking through at what's for sale, and I found a receiver that basically is this Hit Parade, but it's not. It's an Allied. So basically I see it and I thought, oh, there's a Hit Parade there. And then I looked at it and I was like, hang on, that's Allied. So I clicked on it and there was loads of photos on the page of the front and the back. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, right, that's it. That is the Hits Parade. 100%. So that means the Hits Parade is an Allied. And the model is an Allied 426 receiver. So of course the Hit Parade sounds better than you think it would. If it was made by Allied, they make decent stuff. A lot of that Allied stuff has a really good sound to it. So the Hit Parade is definitely an Allied, because I studied the pictures and it is the Hit Parade. If you look one up, hang on, no need to look one up. I keep forgetting. I am a YouTuber now with editing skills, so I can put one up on the screen for you. So, if you're looking at, if I remember to put a picture on the screen, you are looking at it now, and look at it. That is an Allied Model 426. That is a Hit Parade. The only difference is that little tuning needle for the radio is in a different place on the Hit Parade. Other than that, everything is exactly the same, and if you look at the back, they are exactly the same. So 100% the Hit Parade is an Allied. So no wonder it sounds so good. So we wasn't wrong when we was kids. We rated the Hit Parade, and we was right to rate it, because the Hit Parade is an Allied. And once I knew that and started looking up about these Allieds, you're better off buying a Hit Parade, because this Hit Parade makes no money whatsoever. That Allied one, people want a load of money for that one because it is an Allied. And it is a bit strange with this one, because I've been looking for one of these for ages, trying to get another one, and I've never found one for sale. But then James found this one, and he bought me this one for Christmas. But since then, I keep finding them for sale. I've probably seen 3 or 4 of them up for sale on the computer. And I did find something good for sale on the computer tonight, because I've done my normal routine when I got in. I checked the channel to answer any messages and that, and then had a quick look on eBay to see what had been listed today. And I found a big vintage Harman Kardon receiver. Now, it's one of the ones that I done in my high-end Hi-Fi wanted video. So it's one of them Harman Kardons. Now, it's not working, and it's got a load of knobs missing off the front and a few screws missing out the back, and a couple of the fuse bits, like the caps for the fuses, are missing on it. But I zoomed in on the pictures and all that, and the actual receiver looks in really good condition. It looks very dirty, but it does sort of look alright. So I messaged the seller to like ask more about it, because on the listing all there is one photo of the front, one photo of the back. There is no pictures of the inside of it or anything like that. So I've messaged the seller to try and find out more about it, because I am very interested in it. Well, so are about 50 other people, so obviously it's going to make a lot of money, and I will need to speak to my missus about it first, because it would be coming out of our savings pot, because we've been saving money to buy some high-end gear. So it would be up to her as well if she wants to go for it, but I think she will. So depending on what the message says that I get back from the seller, I might have a little punt on that Harman Kardon, because it would be a right gamble, because you are not going to get it cheap, and you cannot see inside it. It might have a load of parts missing, but it still is worth a gamble, because finding one of them non-working, that's what I've been after for ages, and it's the first one that's come up in like a non-working condition. Because if it was all working, I wouldn't even be looking to buy it, because it would make so much money I would not be willing to spend that amount. But one that's not working, oh, if it doesn't make a ridiculous amount of money, I think I will have a bid on it. Well, as long as my missus fancies having a go on it, and as long as I don't get a message back from the seller saying, no, it's had both its transformers taken out of it and a load of other parts have been ripped out of it. And obviously, a lot depends on you lot at home, because if some of you start whacking in some crazy overpriced bids on it, then I will be out of the running. So let's get back to the hit parade, or the Allied 426 receiver as we now know it is. So tonight I've been playing most of that lot through it. A bit of T-Rex, bit of Eva Cassidy, some Blondie, some Billy Joel and some Nina Simone. Now I've only been running it at low volume through these solids, and it's not going to have a load of power, this receiver. I think it's only 7.5 watts per channel. So you are not rattling the windows in the house with this one. But at low volumes, this Hits Parade really has got a pretty good sound to it. Now I started off tonight with a Nina Simone CD, and I was playing some Nina Simone tracks and just sitting back and really listening to the Hit Parade, and I really was enjoying myself. The little Hit Parade sounds just as good as I remember our old one sounding. And I do think I could improve the sound of this Hits Parade by putting it on different speakers. Because 7.5 watts is not a lot of power to put through these solids. They are built to take more power than that. But I'm still getting a decent sound out of them tonight. Now I'm not saying this receiver is the greatest receiver ever made and you should get hold of your receiver, throw it in the bin and buy a Hit Parade. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is this Hits Parade, it doesn't sound that bad. It sounds a lot better than a lot of cheap budget little receivers, because this is a really cheap one. You find one of these on the computer, you're not paying a lot for it. For the price of one of these, you are not getting a lot else. And I bet that other stuff that you could buy at the same money won't sound like this thing. I bet 90% of them are absolute loads of rubbish. But this Hit Parade is not rubbish, it's quite decent. And it's got a really old sound to it. It really does sound like an old 60s amp. I think that's a bit why I like the sound of it so much, because it really does sound like a very old receiver. So what do I mean by that? It sounds like an old 60s amp. Well, they're like very laid back, ain't they? They're nice in the bass department. It's got a nice laid back bass. Nothing is happening fast, is it? And like with the top end on this is really crystal clear. And it sounds pretty decent, but it hasn't got the best dynamics going on, and again everything's a little bit laid back, a little bit rolled off, and I doubt this receiver is really punching up in them high frequencies. It's a little bit subdued. And a lot of people don't like that old sound. They just can't get on with it. They want something more modern sounding. But I like stuff that has that old sound to it, because it's very different to a modern sounding amplifier, and it has got a place. And in a night like tonight, just to sit and listen to, it's really been a good change to listen to something that's got that old 60s sound going on. And like tonight, I've really been enjoying listening to T-Rex on it. It suits T-Rex, this little receiver, it really does. I was playing Telegram Sam and that. Oh, and it really sounded nice through the Hit Parade. And then I had a bit of Billy Joel and I played the Piano Man. And again, the sound of this receiver just made Piano Man sound so good. And I was putting Eva Cassidy through it, and again Eva Cassidy was just sounding lovely through this little Hit Parade. I've not put nothing modern, fast and lively through this Hit Parade tonight, because I don't think it'll lend itself to that sort of music. You just need to play stuff that suits the sound of this receiver. Like a bit of Nina Simone. I do think the best sound I've had out of it tonight is with that Nina Simone CD. It just sounded so lovely. It's how Nina Simone should sound. And like what I was saying, I do think I could get this sounding nicer with the right speakers on it, because this thing wants like a little 12 or 15 watt little set of bookshelves on it that are really sensitive, and then I think this thing really will sound a lot better. Well, I'm hoping it will, because I'm going to get something like that for it, because I just want to hear this to its full potential, because I love this Hits Parade. I had one when I was a kid and I loved it, and I love my new one. Now, I know a lot of people out there watching this, if you got your hands on one of these, you'd listen to it for half an hour and go, I don't really like that receiver, it just sounds too old. But the other lot of you sitting at home watching this who like that old sound, you'd listen to this for half an hour and go, I really enjoyed that, I like that receiver. So this one's definitely like a personal taste thing, whether you're gonna like it or not. 'Cause even like with a load of money's amp receiver from the 60s, I've had some really high quality like 60s Sugdens and things like that. To me, they sound absolutely fantastic. But I've had friends and other people just don't rate it whatsoever. They do not like the sound of it. They don't get it or understand it. To them, it just sounds old. And they just want their brand new Yamaha or their brand new Sony. They do not get the sound of this old stuff. Well, some of it they do. You play 'em a really nice 70s amp or receiver, a right decent one from the 70s, they like that one, 'cause it kind of has got a modernish sound to it. But when it comes to these older sounding ones, they're just not interested in it. Even the old valve amps. A lot of people don't like the sound of old valve amps. When I love old valve amps, I will try and get some for the channel. Maybe not valve amps. What I like doing is getting a valve preamp and put a modern amp on it. I like that combo. And that's not really down to a sound thing. It's more down to a reliability thing, because them old valve amplifiers, they just go wrong all the time and they are a bit of a nightmare. But a nice valve preamp, once it is all serviced and that, they seem to be much more reliable. So that's a bit why I like that combination. No, and that come out a bit wrong actually. I'm not saying I'm not interested in an old valve amplifier, because if one come up at the right money that I could get my hands on, without a shadow of a doubt I would buy it and try and get it working and then really enjoy using it. But first of all, I do fancy getting a valve preamp. Maybe an old leak one or something like that, 'cause them leak ones are easy to get the parts from. They sold in massive numbers and you can always get the parts for them. And you get one of them working properly, they have got a good sound to them. Just like my Hit Parade. My Hit Parade, I think it's got a good sound to it. And I do think I can improve the sound of it with a better set of speakers that suits it more. And also I think I could improve the sound of it again, because I do think that this old 60s sounding stuff does tend to up its game when you put vinyl through it. It is more suited to playing records through, because I haven't done none of that yet. I have not had a turntable connected up to the Hit Parade yet, but I will do that soon, because I think the Hit Parade with a turntable in it and a really decent set of speakers that suits it will up its game, and this thing is gonna just sound so good for a really cheap budget little receiver. So thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and I shall see you next time.